We're recording.
All right. 3, 2, 1. It's too loud. And it was a very long gap.
Yeah, but we could cut the gap.
Yeah, which is what I'm about to. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're back here. We'll turn that down a little bit. And here we go. God damn it. Sometimes I'm not very good at this.
No, well, that's why I said it'd be probably best to just pre-record them.
Well, I'm also not very good at pulling up something that I've pre-recorded and figuring out how to add to it. All right. There we go. This is why you need Fred.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Scafacci-verse. I am Anthony Scafacci.
And I'm Alan Geekax.
And we are your hosts, and we want to thank you for coming back every single week. And we want to invite you, please, to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment, rate the show, tell a friend, share.
I'm in favor of all those things.
Yeah, those are all things that will help us help you.
That's right.
It's not just about us.
No.
Right?
It's never been about us.
No. Dude, trust me. We're not making any money on this damn thing. In fact, we's in the red,
yeah,
so to speak, right?
We're in the red like the ass of a baboon.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and just bring us a little closer to that fucking break-even line.
Yeah.
Share this thing, man. Help us out, okay?
That is helpful.
Hey, Al. So I got a great episode for you today, right?
Yeah, that's true. Right? We do. And before we get into our episode, we should do our stadium.
We have a stadium poll.
You got something fired up about.
Oh, I am very fired up.
It's great because I don't know what's coming. No. Just like you, dear listener. Yeah. It's going to be fun. We do.
We have a sponsor, please.
Before Anthony gets angry, we have something that makes us happy. Okay. And that's Jugs Milkshakes.
Yes.
Who doesn't love Jugs?
I don't know anybody.
All right, go for it.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
there was more to that
stuff. No, that's enough.
Okay. So, my son, right? He recently started playing Little League baseball. Okay, and he's playing coach pitch. He skipped t-ball, but there's some kids on this team that should not have skipped t-ball. Okay, there's a couple of kids who one is pretty forgivable. She is very young. Right? And, the expectations are that, like, maybe she won't be a good baseball player. Girls, they do dancing.
Maybe she's not going to get into
things like that. Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, like, but there's some boys, right, that are just utter fucking...
They're garbage.
Garbage, right? There's this kid.
Hey, your kid's garbage!
Right? Who, every time he swings, he swings like a golfer, like at the ground.
Oh, that's not
right. And it's every time at every pitch.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the pitcher's got to start sending him in low. The coach is pitching
3/4 of the way through the season now.
Right. He hasn't figured out how to raise that bat.
And he's watching every other kid bat.
Right.
And so, like, what the hell's going on?
Somebody gives that kid a talking to? Like,
dude,
hey, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm watching the game.
Right.
And this is where I want to get up. I want to ask, hey, where's your dad?
Yeah.
Right? And then I want to pull down.
The back of his hand.
Yeah, aside. And be like, I know you see this.
Right.
you can't afford to buy a tee and show this kid how to swing level. Yeah. Like, I don't care if he closed his eyes and just swung level.
Right.
At least he's not swinging at his own goddamn feet.
He's never going to succeed doing that.
And it's so frustrating, man. And I know it's coach pitch, Little League, dude. There's nothing on the line here.
Right.
But dude, it's just so frustrating. Take your kids. If you put them in any type of sport, take them out.
Have a catch.
Yes, do something.
Right. There used to be something that parents did for their kids and bonded.
Hell. All right. That's Jesus Christ. It's so bad.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Holy shit.
All right.
Let us pray.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Let's talk about where that clip comes from and why we chose it for today's episode.
Yeah, so, you may have noticed our cold opens have changed.
Yes.
Right? We decided to get a little less no context reading some shit we wrote that you guys can't figure out what the fuck any of it means.
Yeah, it turns out.
Yeah, even though we like it, we said, you know what, this probably doesn't help our audience.
Yeah.
So we switched to things you might recognize.
Yes.
Right?
That's from one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
Necessary
Rough. And it is such a great moment.
It is.
Right? And, dude, it is going to really drive this episode.
Right, because the North Texas, or the West Texas Screaming Eagles, it wasn't... I mean, they're modeled after North Texas. Yes. I think they're Texas State, or it doesn't matter. Okay, whatever fictional team they are, they're absolute garbage. Yeah. They're a terrible team.
Yeah, and so that is the
theme of this whole episode, right?
I like to think of it as the last great dynasty.
There you go.
Of
2026.
Of 2026.
Yeah.
At this point, you've done it all, man. You've been playing this game since it came out.
Yeah.
And people are always like, I'm bored.
Right. Maybe you started out taking Alabama to the national championship.
And then
1 or 2.
And then you drop down to like Georgia.
Right.
And then after that
maybe
it was
Georgia Tech,
Ohio State. Right.
And then now it's time to really test your mettle.
Yeah.
And so anybody can tell you what the worst teams in the game are, because you can just look at their overall rating.
Sure.
That's easy.
But that doesn't tell the whole story.
No, it doesn't. Because there's a lot more to playing with a bad team. Like I'm going to call one out right off the beginning. Okay. One of the worst teams in the game is Missouri State.
Yeah, they're bad.
But I would never tell you to play with Missouri State because it sucks for a couple of reasons. There's nothing interesting about Missouri State that I can figure out. They've got maroon as their main color, and then that's really it.
Yeah, I'm big on
uniforms.
You need something more.
They don't have cool helmet options, and they're bear, right? For a bear is a garbage mascot because it's too common. It's not interesting. It's generic.
Yeah.
And dude, the bear looks like it was drawn with a graphics card from an Atari 2600.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Yeah. Put some effort into it.
We covered cool mascots in our episode. Mascots.
Missouri State ain't on there.
Yeah, Missouri
Even
State
though they have a bear. Yeah. That bear ain't taking on anybody. He got
just lumped in with the rest of the bears.
Yeah, I don't think that bear could even beat Frogger. So we're not looking at just a bad team. We're looking at a bad team that's interesting, that's going to be fun to play, that's going to bring something to the table.
Yeah, or they're just so bad that it's really the biggest challenge there is.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
And so
you want to start with a team like that?
So the one that most people come up with as the absolute hardest team to build is the Akron Zips.
It's so weird because they're in Ohio. You think it would be a fertile recruiting ground.
But here's the problem: is even if you do get a good recruit, Ohio State's going to take them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame.
And Michigan.
Yeah, and all these suck those recruits right out.
They're going to leave for higher.
Right.
For a better, the grass is going to be greener everywhere else.
So, like, if you pick Hawaii, which I do recommend, by the way. Then at least you're going to get campus lifestyle. Nobody's going to take that away from you.
They got a lot going for it.
And proximity to home. There's no other school that's going to take that from you.
No.
And so at least you have those things going for you. But in Akron, if you have proximity to home, so does Ohio State.
So does everybody else.
You're right.
Penn State.
You're
and so the Akron Zips, they have terrible pipelines. Just terrible. Right. It's literally you can recruit from your own backyard. And that's
against those monsters.
Yeah, against those monsters.
Right, and then that's pretty much it.
And they're one of the lowest rated, if not the lowest rated. I think they're like a 61 or something like that to start. Yeah, they don't really have anything going for them. Like, I don't even think their local cable channel. Like,
right.
yeah, they don't
they
even
come
get...
on out after Wayne's World?
Yeah, something like that. Like, you catch them with an antenna standing outside your yard or something. Like, hey, we got the zips on.
Yeah, if you can still get UHF.
Yeah, and, I mean, their uniforms aren't really that great.
See,
they're
this
okay.
is where we're going to part company.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the things that I like about playing with Akron is they've got blue, gold, and white.
Yeah,
and there's
they're
decent
not bad. And they do have some good combinations.
Yeah. But the thing that I really like about them is Mr. Zip.
Yeah.
Mr. Zippy, which is, for a long time, I thought it was a kangaroo. But it turns out it's a donkey.
Yeah.
Or maybe I have it backward. Maybe I thought it was a donkey and it's a kangaroo. Either way,
yeah,
it's a cool mascot.
But yeah,
it's different.
But I think, if you're looking for that last great challenge, that's a good place to start looking. Is maybe Akron is a place where you can go and you're not going to win right away.
Zippy is a kangaroo.
Yeah, you're going to win. You're going to win eventually because we're all going to win eventually.
Right.
But that eventually is a lot further down the road.
It is, and it's fun along the way.
Yeah.
You ever seen a kangaroo box?
No. And when you start to win,
its tail and kicks.
And that's the big thing about these last great dynasties.
Right.
Is when you finally start to get good.
It gets so satisfying.
Well, and it also gets really, really funny, right? Because right, it gets really funny because on no planet is Ohio State coming to Akron to play a game, right?
And on no planet would Akron steal a 5-star recruit from Ohio State.
Yeah, it's just not happening, right?
But when that starts to happen,
you can just laugh to yourself,
like,
oh yeah, Penn State coming to Akron, big game, we're number 7, Penn State trembling in their fucking boots.
Oh,
right?
Good times. Yeah, so obviously Akron we recommend. Yeah. I want to talk about the last great dynasty. For you, it's always the first great dynasty, or maybe second, Buffalo.
Yeah, I like Buffalo. I like it. It's one of those that it's a tough place to play. I like it because I like to play there. The weather.
Okay, or do you actually get snow games?
No.
Dude, this rarely comes up.
One of these days, they got to figure out how to make cold places cold.
Right.
Warm places warm.
Right.
Rainy places rain. Right. Snowy places snow. Right. Buffalo is a snowy place.
Yeah. You should be playing in knee-deep snow out there.
And at least once a season.
Right.
I mean, it could fall on a Sunday, but something they got to do.
Yeah.
Is when it snows real bad on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Friday, in this case, because of college football. Snows really bad on Friday, on the sidelines and stuff.
It should be piled up.
There should be, some piled up snow.
Right.
It should be 19 degrees. It should be goddamn cold.
Right.
No. Dude, let me, real quick side quest.
Please, go
right?
ahead.
I started a team builder dynasty with the Barrow Freeze. Right? All the way up there in Alaska.
They're Alaska.
Yeah, way up there. Northernmost north place there is, right? First game in September. You want to guess how warm it was?
Oh, should have been 48?
Yeah, it was 97.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about anthropogenic climate change.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Holy moly.
But this is one of the problems is the team is based in Alaska.
Right.
And it still thinks...
The computer doesn't get it.
It doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right? They can't download some basic fucking Weather Channel shit.
Right.
Figure this out. Anyway, okay.
All right.
So Buffalo, I like Buffalo. What do you like?
Right, so this is my first choice team, but it's, uncommon is either New Mexico or New Mexico State.
Okay, so New Mexico State is...
Yeah, they're terrible.
Oh,
and they have
so
very
bad.
little going for them. And they kind of fall into that same problem of Akron in that they can recruit out of Texas,
sure,
but you're competing with Texas, competing with Oklahoma. And so it makes the recruiting very difficult. There's no other really nearby population centers to draw from.
Where are they actually
they're in Las Cruces, I think, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
not exactly football hotbed?
No, not exactly. But dude, good uniforms, which I'm very interested
that is very
in.
important.
Yeah, I'm keen on the uniforms. And then it's an interesting play because, you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. They have a cool stadium. It's okay. Yeah. It's not great.
Is it one of the 31,000 seat varieties?
Yeah, it's like a small stadium.
Yeah.
Right. And I really like them because, I mean, dude, honestly, it's the uniforms. And I have an affinity to the Desert Southwest generally. Yeah. But I like playing with them because you have these difficulties, because when they build up, it's so unlikely. and it's fun along the way. And then you've got that built-in rivalry with New Mexico, which New Mexico dominates that rivalry.
Oh, I know.
They're a big Mountain West team.
Yeah.
Granted, they're at the cellar of the Mountain West.
But still, they're way
better than New Mexico State. And so you start turning that shit around.
Yeah.
And it says, like the overall series is like 88-32 in favor of New Mexico. Well, now it's 88-38, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
We're coming back on you.
Yeah.
That should be a Frank Cobble goal, is to play that until he tips the balance in favor of New Mexico State.
Yeah, he would do it. That guy, he'll play 60 straight years there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could get 60. Can he do it? Is he within 60?
Well, in the new game, it's 30 something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way.
But he still plays the old game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. We should ask him about it. Yeah. Hey man, can you do one for New Mexico State?
Yeah.
You got plenty of free time here.
Yeah, clearly. He just hit the 20-year mark with Kansas. He made a post about it this morning. Yeah. So,
all right. So what's another bad team?
So Kent. Now Kent,
the Golden Flashes, dude, another good mascot, right? A good nickname.
To me, Kent is one of the big dogs of the bad team. Okay. Like last great dynasty kind of locations, right? First, the Kent Golden Flashes have some fire uniforms.
Yeah, the blue and gold.
Yeah, they have some really good uniforms, right? Yep. They're Kent, which, they are the bottom of the barrel of like historically bad.
Yeah, they've been bad forever.
Like college
barely hanging on to Division I.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're the type that when a Division II team comes to town, the Division II team is favored.
You're right? Exactly. Yeah.
And so if you go there and start building, I've gone there a couple times with Road to Glory guys, just to see how bad things really are. Right. And then my Road to Glory guy moves out. Like I just, you know what? I don't really feel like playing college football anymore.
Right.
I'm gonna go somewhere else. Yeah. And it's not you, it's me. And then I leave, right?
Right.
But dude, they are so bad. And like so they're another Ohio. Mm-hmm. Where you would think, oh, we're in Ohio, gonna do okay. But dude,
it's a lot of the same problems that Akron has.
Yeah, and so building there is really tough because let's say you land that 4-star guy.
Right.
Right. He's probably not staying.
Yeah.
Right? Because unless his deal breaker is likes to suck, right? He's got an A+ and not winning, then he's going to go somewhere else. And so that's the problem is you lose these guys year after year after year, which makes that build really hard because you're really just building on the backs of only like max 3-star guys.
Right.
Right? And that's it. Like everything else, your play styles and all these different things have to get built up to a point where you can actually keep these guys. And God forbid you get somebody with like academics. Because you can't even help that.
Right. Like there's certain things you just can't improve.
Yeah, you can't improve.
Right.
And so, like their facilities are garbage. I don't even know if they have a weight room. Right? Maybe they all just have they
have a waiting room.
Yeah, maybe they have everybody that enrolls there, plays football there, gets like 24-hour fitness pass.
Oh, there you
can
go.
Just go there.
Yeah, that's also where they have to shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I mean, it's bad. Like they're literally like practicing on like a dirt field somewhere.
Right. All right. So speaking of dirt.
Yeah.
I heard a statistic recently that the most common favorite color in the world of all like the normal colors. We're not talking about puce.
I would guess that would be a favorite.
Yeah, it's not. The most common favorite color worldwide. Take a guess.
Pink.
No, dude.
No.
Come on.
Yeah,
Be serious.
Like pink. No.
I like the pink.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's blue.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, it's blue.
It's because it's the sky.
Of the normal colors, the least common favorite color?
Green?
Brown.
Brown. Because it's like poop?
Yeah, I guess. And so for me, brown is actually my favorite color.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's because I've lived in the desert too long.
Sure. And there are some pretty browns out there.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I like to say that there are many subtle shades of brown in the desert.
Yeah.
But there's really only 2 brown teams on the game. Can you name either of them?
No.
Okay, one is Western Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, okay. And Wyoming would be
Wyoming.
Yeah.
So for me, because of my bias for the Intermountain West, I love Wyoming. The brown and gold to me looks fantastic. I think it's a gorgeous team. They play at like 7,000 feet.
Yes,
which I wish
the altitude would matter.
I wish it would matter. Like the other teams' stamina and fatigue, right, would be affected by playing at altitude.
Dude, they can't even make it cold. Now you want them to figure out.
You're right.
Like
altitude.
Yeah, altitude sickness.
Right.
Yeah.
But dude, I love they have.
They should be another cold weather school,
Absolutely,
right? Where you get some snow.
And also in Wyoming, it's windy as fuck.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really factor into the game either.
That's another thing, man. Is like unless that wind's like 28,000 miles an hour, the ball doesn't change.
It does when you're kicking,
barely.
But not when you're throwing.
Yeah, barely.
And but they have challenges similar to the other schools.
Yeah.
You know, the Mountain West is a good middle of the road conference where it's not super easy like when you're in the Sun Belt, where you can just beat everybody, but it's not super hard. So there's a good balance there. And then the recruiting, there's nowhere to draw from.
California, maybe.
Maybe.
Washington
you're a couple states
State,
away
maybe.
from California.
Colorado, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
all of your visits are going to be more expensive.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And everything is just a little bit harder. They're kind of the closest that we have to what used to be Idaho, the Idaho Vandals, where they have a lot of the exact same weaknesses, including the small stadium, the atmosphere, all that stuff is all pretty poor. And then, for me, uniforms, fantastic. There's some of my favorite uniforms in the game. The Cowboy is a cool mascot.
Sure.
And
now Josh Allen came out of there.
Well, yeah, and now there's Josh Allen. Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably other notable pros that have come out of there.
I can't think of one.
But yeah, like...
But let's say that there have been.
Well, I'm sure there has. I mean, he can't be the only one. Yeah. I'm not saying you got to go look it up.
Okay.
Right? I'm just saying, though, that like he comes to mind as your pro potential, but that's it. Right.
So this is another fun one, too, because... I would love it if in the game, like, you get Miami to come to Wyoming.
That's the fun part.
It is. And then I would love it if after every play, all the Miami players are, like, leaning over, gasping for air because they come from sea level. That would be awesome.
So, and these are the things that, to me, make it more fun, is when your team starts to finally get good.
Right.
And maybe you're ranked and stuff like that, and you're having, like, these big games. See, I get into all that. I'm the nerd who gets into this and has fun. Now, I'm not the guy who one time, remember there was a guy, I can't forget, but he started buying, every time he did a Dynasty, he would go buy a helmet, a jersey.
I do remember that.
And he would like hang them up and take pictures. And dude, this guy was like all in on
whatever team he had.
Yeah, whatever team he happened to play, he would buy their gear. And like wear it and stuff.
Right.
Dude, I'm not there yet.
Right. But I get the mentality.
But dude, I love it. I mean, I love that guy. I love the idea. I love
there are 100%
getting that into it.
Teams that I've come to be more fans
of. 100%.
I'm sure you're that way with Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, now I'm like really into like
the Blue Raiders.
The Blue Raiders, dude. Give me more. The Monsters of Murfreesboro.
Exactly. Would you consider them a bad team that's worthy of this?
They're a little too good. Right. I mean, they're bad.
Right. But not bad enough for this.
But they're not bad enough for this. For this, I look at like the dirt poor, the downtrodden, the teams that like other bad teams beat up on.
Yeah.
That's the teams that like if you're really looking for that challenge.
Right.
Then you gotta go bad, to get good, right? To have fun.
There are some that can give you little advantages, like Georgia State, for example. Georgia is an incredibly fertile recruiting ground.
Sure.
And yes, you're recruiting against Georgia, but
the key though, and so there's places like Louisiana Tech's another really bad one. Georgia State is another bad one. South Alabama. There's like a bunch of those. Yeah. North Texas. San Jose State. There's a bunch that are in
North Texas right now. It's fun.
Yeah, that are in these big recruiting places, and the difference is it's not that you're going to get the 4 and 5 star guys because the Georgias and the Alabamas and LSU's and everybody they're going to take those guys. But there's so many 3-star guys that are homegrown 3-star guys.
Right. You don't have to fight for them.
Yeah, you don't have
There's enough to go
because
around.
there's just so many.
Yeah.
And so you can build these 3-star prestige player level.
And if you have decent thumbs, you can at least be competitive.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can get your team into the 80s just on 3-star guys. Right. It's a long build. You're talking 4 or 5 seasons. Maybe here and there you start to snag a portal guy.
Right.
And you start to really make that jump. And the thing is once you get good enough to beat other top 25 teams, now you're in the mix.
Absolutely.
Right? But you still ain't getting those. It's hard. Like, dude, if you're a guy who thinks you're good at recruiting, I dare you. Go to some of these shithole places and try to get try to get top 10 recruit, level stuff out of there. I mean, maybe one day when you start winning natties, right, you're going to get there. But, dude, it's going to take a while.
It is.
Right?
And so this will tide you over until NCAA 27 comes
which,
out.
July's coming.
Yeah,
There's
right around the corner.
plenty of time for somebody to knock out some of these guys who raw dog the game like
That's right.
10 games a fucking week at least.
Get after it. Get one of these bad teams. Don't be a bitch.
Yeah, quit being a huge pussy. Right? Get out there and, move the fuck off of like Tennessee. Oh, but I grew up a volunteer. Yeah. Nobody cares.
And if losing makes you sad, then we have a sponsor that can help with that.
All right.
It is Throat Goat Lozenges. Throat Goat Lozenges are good for what ails you. If you have a tickle in your pipe, Throat Goat takes care of it. But that's only the beginning. The Throat Goat helps with everything. Sniffles, Throat Goat. Colic, Throat Goat. Headache, Throat Goat. Melancholy, Throat Goat. Broken leg, Throat Goat. You name it, the Throat Goat makes it better. Throat Goat lozenges are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Throat Goat is not a valid legal defense. Throat Goat may cause temporary euphoria, mental clarity, excessive feelings of affection, loss of bodily fluids, curled toes, sudden convulsions followed by drowsiness, and or a rash that is not relieved with ointment.
All right. For Anthony Scafacci.
I'm Alan Gigax.
This has been a balls deep production of the Scafacciverse podcast. We are out.